We have a good group of seniors coming back, but right now we're sloppy right now. We have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
I mean, how would you compare what you see so far at this point in time compared to the teams that you've had in the past? Because you've been on or you've guided 2 state championship teams before. So
yeah. I mean, we have potential. We have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we have skilled kids that can fly. You know, we just need to keep working up front. And you know, defensively, we need to work on our fits and whatnot. But, yeah, I mean, I think this team physically is capable of being a pretty good team, but we have a lot of work to do right now. Yeah.
What have you liked, though, so far?
I think our speed offensively is pretty scary. The receivers have done a great job with routes and catching balls, and the quarterback, Chris Craddock, looked really, really good, and Jack Anders looks good too. He's our other quarterback. So we really have 2 good quarterbacks, and both those guys have looked really good. They've made some really good throws. You know, up front we have some kids that are working hard. DeAndre Jules has looked really good defensively. And Greg Bullard has done a pretty good job at linebacker, and Johnny Terry looks good at linebacker and at running back also. And Juwan looks good at running back also, Juwan Furry. Yeah.
So, Chris Craddock, I would assume that he would be, or he's your starting quarterback again this year, or?
I mean, we're always open. Like, whoever's the best player is going to play. Right now, he's performing at a pretty high level. But whoever ends up stepping up, if Jack for some reason ends up outplaying, then he would be the starter. But right now, Chris is playing at a pretty elite level. He's playing really well.
Yeah, so what's been the difference for him so far, just compared to last year? I think last year he seemed like a little timid at times, just with
I think his off-season work he's put in, he's put a lot of work in with Coach Sakari, offensive coordinator. They sit down and watch a lot of film together, and you know, he's put that time in. He's put time in on his technique with Coach Mealy, our quarterback's coach. So his fundamentals are more sound. He's just more confident. You know, he's watched film and sat down. He understands the concepts that we're trying to run and who he should be looking at, understands the reads. And it's carried over his leadership role as well. Like he's been a leader off the field as well.
And then weapons around him. We talked about it. Johnny, Juwan Furry, Alfonso Ferre.
Yeah.
Who else has emerged?
T.J. Williams has done a really good job. Isaiah Williams has done a good job. He's a sophomore.
Okay.
Has looked good. Norval Black is as good as
him
you
as
see.
well.
Yeah, in some of our 7-on-7 tournaments, he was one of the best players there. So, I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of guys. So he's got weapons.
Skill guys. How would you compare this group to, I guess, groups that you've had just before?
It's as fast, or if not faster, than any group we ever had. So potentially, I mean, they could be the best. We've had some great ones in the past.
Yeah, really.
So, so we'll see. I mean, they potentially could be the best. It's just a matter of them stepping up and being disciplined. And the thing that separated the groups in the past was just taking care of the little things, you know, fundamentals. And so if these guys can do that, then they could be that, you know, that elite type group.
Heard you talking about not putting on your locks in the locker room. Is it as simple as following those little disciplinary things that could kind of catch on with them?
It is.
Yeah.
Being on time, locking the locker room. When you start on a sprint, being behind the line, sprinting through the line, all the little things, you know, it just adds up. So we just try to make sure that we're focused on the details. My college coach used to always say, if you take care of little things, the big things will take care of themselves.
That's right.
So,
and then he liked the skill guy. So how do the guys look up front so far?
Not
Offensive
bad.
line.
Not bad. We have some good kids coming back. Nico Burns is good on the offensive line. You know, and Justin Orem has done a pretty good job. Andrew Irvin has had a tremendous offseason, so he's looked pretty good at right tackle. He's a big kid, 6'6", 295. So he's still growing into his body, but he had a great offseason. He worked really hard, and he looks good so far.
So how many starters do you return on offense for you?
That's a good question. Coach?
You got
7,
Chris.
yeah, I think 7 or 8.
Okay.
I think I haven't counted. I'd say 7 or 8 probably offensively, and 5 or 6 or 7 defensively probably.
Okay.
So some of the guys that you know, they started at times or they played a lot that are,
Yeah.
you know, so it depends how you want to count it. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of starters returning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, defensively, what have
Mhm.
you liked about them? I mean, you were a college linebacker yourself.
Yeah, I think you know, the secondary coverage has been really good.
Yeah.
They've been excellent, carried over from 7-on-7.
Okay.
The run fits have been pretty solid. The linebackers done a good job. Some guys that looked really good. Johnny Terry's looked really good at linebacker, hitting some people.
It's a hard hitter.
He's kind of like a pit bull. Or he looks
He is
good.
a hard hitter.
Juwan Faree's done a pretty good job on the edge. Greg Bullard's been solid. So those guys they're getting there. Yeah, some guys that you never heard of, probably Isaiah Bishop will step up. I think you'll know who he is by the end of the year.
Yeah, and then
He's a pretty good kid.
speaking of guys who could emerge, who is one guy on the outside of this program who people don't know who could become a household name for you guys during the season?
Yeah, I'd say Isaiah Bishop is definitely good. He's going to step up. And you know, T.J. Williams didn't play last year, so I think he could be a guy that people aren't, you know, not aware of, that, you know, he arises and they're kind of surprised. Isaiah Williams looks really good. So yeah, those guys. I mean, I think they'll emerge. Definitely surprise some people.
You guys went 7-4 last year. Would you say that that's a down year for you, just with what you had in terms of expectations, and then how much do you look back at last year and say we don't want that feeling again?
Yeah, we were extremely disappointed with that record. I mean, we lost to some good teams, and it wasn't like anybody robbed us or anything like that.
Sure.
I mean, they beat us. They were
Sure.
better than us. We just didn't perform at a very high level last year. So the seniors have taken it upon themselves to not allow that to happen again. They've been pretty emphatic throughout the offseason about mentioning that. And when they don't, I do. So I mention it. You know?
Yeah, so
I tell them it's a 7-4 effort. You know, if we're not pushing, that's kind of where we're at.
and then your schedule this year, you've got good counsel. So what do you make of your schedule this year, just as a whole?
As a whole, it's going to be a difficult schedule. It's going to be challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. I think I'm excited about adding good counsel. I mean, we open with Wooten, who's
That's right.
they're playing really
So,
well. Yeah, they
I
had a
mean,
great offseason. And
Week 1, you just don't know.
yeah, they're
sometimes.
very explosive
So, yeah.
offensively. They do a great job over there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
So we're kind of focused on them. But if you look at it overall, you know, I'm excited about just the fact that we get to play a private school team. Coach Malloy and I talked about it. We thought it'd be great for high school football. You know, it'll attract a big crowd hopefully, and it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we talked about just having the discipline to refine the talent that's already in place. What else does your team need to do to take that next step, to get over the hump, to get out of your region and to get to the state title game?
I guess the biggest thing is just we consistently need to be disciplined, you know, and that you can't have you can't start drives 1st and 15. You know, little things like that,
That's right.
like cover up a tight end or just dumb things, you know, that you're just not aware. So we've been trying to really harp on those things, not jumping off sides, just, you know, just making sure that we're functioning at a high level and not making mistakes. If you look at the teams where, like you mentioned, the teams where we won state championship, those teams did
13
make
and 14,
mistakes.
right? Yeah.
We'd have 3 or 4 penalties in the entire game, you know, at the most. You know, there were probably games that we went through. I have to go back and look, but we only had a couple penalties maybe, you know, because those teams didn't jump off sides. They didn't fumble the ball. They didn't throw interceptions. I mean, we took care of the ball, didn't turn it over, and we made big plays when we needed to, you know. So
Yeah.
Hopefully we just take care of the little things and, you know, we'll be fine.
That's right. I mean, that's not a cliche either, because the games I covered for you last year, I think it was like you had like 10 penalties, 11 penalties, like over 100 yards easily.
Yep.
And I mean, that's just can't win football games that way.
You can't. You can't. Turnovers and penalties will kill you.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else, any other players that we haven't talked about, or does anything else that's on your mind?
No, there are probably some guys I forgot. So if they watch this video, hopefully they don't take it personally and they look at it as a challenge. Maybe just step up a little bit.
Oh man.
But
That's a good way to put it.
no, yeah, no, we're excited. I mean, it's always fun to fun to play.
Yeah.
You do all this work in the off season for 10 games.
That's right.
So
For
you
10 nights.
Got to make them count. It's crazy.
10 nights.
How much work you put in for those 10
That's right.
moments. You know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Thank you, Coach Neubeiser.